I'm back and this is my week 9 pregnancy vlog. I am feeling a little bit rough today, but I just thought if I don't film it today, because I'm almost 10 weeks, I was like, if I don't film it today, I'm not going to do it. I think I'm feeling a little bit rough. I haven't got a cold, but Ken and Elvis have both got colds and I just feel like a little bit run down. Also, I wanted to mention from the last video, if you caught up with that one, I mentioned about like how I was having such bad nausea, and I wanted to give you guys some tips if this is your first pregnancy or if you're just struggling. Some of my best tips would be, so eat little and often, eat what you can, eat really like dry foods. I think I mentioned in the last video that I was loving like crackers and ginger biscuits, peppermint teas, ginger teas, anything that helps. One of the things I found hardest with Elvis's pregnancy, my previous pregnancy, was taking my vitamins. Oh my goodness, this baby brain, I'm like, I can't even put a sentence together sometimes. My vitamins, obviously, everyone takes folic acid in pregnancy. I don't know if I mentioned before, but I take the Pregnacare Max. It's just because I feel like, especially at the start, if you're not eating as good or you're not eating as much, or like me, you're eating mainly beige foods and craving McDonald's. Oh, that has been an actual craving. It's so weird that I'm craving that, but anyway, I just like to have a multivitamin as well as the folic acid, just so I know I'm giving my body something. And the Pregnacare Max has just always been my go-to, so I just kind of did the same thing with this pregnancy. But like they're, and just like a little FYI, I am someone that can literally swallow tablets dry, and when I'm in those nauseous weeks, honestly, even just putting the tablet in my mouth, I'm gagging, and I'm sure many of you are struggling with this as well. Like, just getting those tablets down is a hardship. So I would say with Elvis's pregnancy, quite a lot of the time I was getting sick was when I was taking my Pregnacare in the morning. So this pregnancy, I was like a little bit more clued up. I was like, oh, I'm gonna take my Pregnacare in the evening because that's when I'm feeling slightly less nauseous, or whatever time of day you're maybe feeling slightly less nauseous, maybe like, you know, like maybe 10 minutes after you've eaten, I don't know. But that would be a tip, like to try and change the time of day you're taking it. And I've actually got the Pregnacare, the liquid form, so I can just spoon it in. So if tablets are just a complete no-go, or maybe you're just like really throwing up and you can only keep down liquids, then I would definitely say try out like a liquid version rather than tablet. And I forgot to mention that last video, and those are just tips that have really worked for me. Other than that, you just got to ride it out because every pregnancy is so different. I really thought coming into week 9, like I was starting to feel a lot better at the start of the week, and you know what, I am. It's just that the nausea hasn't gone, so I feel like it has some intense moments throughout the day, but in general it's a lot more dull. Like, it's there, but it's not as intense. Even though there's a couple intense moments where I'm like, oh God, I need to eat. I still need to eat all the time. I'm still eating quite a lot because I'm like snacking or... But the thing is, I feel like week 7 and week 8, I don't know if I explained this, but like I would kind of just be snacking all throughout the day. Like sometimes I wasn't really getting a like proper meals, or like I would just have a bagel or like toast or whatever. But I knew that come dinner time, as long as I had like a little snack before dinner, I feel like I would actually be able to get like a bit more of a varied dinner down. Not always, definitely not week 7, but like I've been relying on those dinners for a bit more nutrition, and like I've been like getting some veg in, even though it's been really hard because it just, anything just, I've got a lot more fooded versions rather than cravings. But yeah, this week 9, the nausea's been quite intense in the evenings. Like I've literally just had to go to bed because I just feel sick. So the days are better and I'm getting more done, but the evenings I've been feeling quite sick and not really wanting to eat much. but I'm also eating loads. Like I'm snacking, I'm just doing whatever I can to get through. So if you're the same, then sis, I feel ya. I really do. So what has happened week 9? Like, what do I need to update you on? Okay, so one thing I would say about this week 9 of pregnancy, I feel like I'm getting some more mental capacity back. Let's not take it too far because sometimes I can't string a sentence together. But I recorded an episode for my podcast, Girl Past the Wine. If you're not already following that, go check it out, with my girl Hev. And I just feel like up until now, I just haven't had the creative capacity to like just come up with ideas or like just talk on the podcast. Like I just haven't felt myself, you know. So I feel like this week I've felt a lot more creative, and I've been reading, like literally the last couple of weeks I've been picking up my book and I just can't get through it. It's like I've got like a brain fog, whereas this week I've been able to read again. So I feel like, you know what, things are on the up. You know, I would rather this baby take everything they need from me, even if I have to feel a little bit shitty. But it is a hard thing, isn't it? And I think people don't realise it's not just how you're feeling. And sometimes mentally, you're just in survival mode. Like if you are working a 9 to 5, I mean, you know, previously with Elvis, like it's literally sometimes just getting through the day and you're like, I can't give more. And sometimes you feel a bit of guilt with that. I felt a lot of mum guilt with regards to parenting because I just feel like I don't have the energy for Elvis. And I'm like, how do people do this when they already have a kid? Like, and I just feel like his age is going to be so perfect when the baby comes. He'll be literally almost turning 4. So he just, even now, like I haven't officially told him, but he knows, like he knows that I'm pregnant. You know, kids just have this intuition, and I just feel like he's going to be so great. But I also feel like the age he's at now, he just requires so much interaction and attention. So it's going to be great that he has a sibling coming. It's going to be perfect. But just during pregnancy, I'm just like feeling a bit of mum guilt. Like, God, I'm not giving you a lot of energy. I'm just surviving the days. I'm just like, some days, you know, especially if he's having a hard day, I'm like, oh, when's bedtime? You know, because I'm just like, it's hard. But I keep reminding myself, it's okay. You know, I'm sure that my energy levels will improve and it won't be like this for a long time. I hope not anyway. So yeah. God, I look so pale. Guys, let's just hope by week 10's vlog, especially if I don't have makeup on, that you're like, oh, she's got a bit of life back in her, because this is the reality. I'm waiting for the pregnancy glow. Okay, so week 9, something exciting. I had my midwife appointment this week. And if I'm honest with you, it was so good. So I've had Elvis. Obviously it would be now like four years ago I would have been pregnant, and everything was through the NHS, and I had a really great experience with them, I'm not gonna lie. But obviously I don't necessarily have high expectations for the NHS, because you understand that they have to see so many people and they have so much staff, and you don't really have any consistency with your care. But I never expected to. So my whole experience was very good, but I didn't have high expectations. This time round, they contacted me and they were like, oh, even though you're under this hospital, we want all your midwife appointments to be at this clinic, and it's going to be under a continuity of care, which was really exciting for me. The group of midwives, there's like 6 to 8 of them. You will only ever see these midwives. They will be the ones at your birth. They have an Instagram, they have a YouTube. My appointment with them, they just felt so, like there was a lot of TLC. I just felt like I really connected with them, and I was just really excited. And they basically said throughout the UK they're trying to introduce, if you're midwife led, which I am, they're trying to introduce a bit more continuity of care. And it does make sense, because one of my friends, she's actually due any day now, and all of her midwife points, she was like, oh yeah, my midwife's going to try and see me each time. And I was like, she's given birth at the same hospital I gave birth with Elvis. And I was like, I think I saw about 100 different midwives. Like, that's so wild. Like, I was really confused when she said that, but now it makes sense. They're trying to do this continuity of care. And I love that I don't have to go into the hospital all the time. And yeah, so my first midwife appointment was great. They really just took their time with me. They even mentioned like, would you be up for a home birth? And I was like, yes, like I've literally always wanted a home birth. I wanted a home birth with Elvis, and I just kind of changed my mind to no, actually not for my first one, but I really would love to push for a home birth this time. So we talked a little bit about that, and they were so good that I feel like Ken is more on the fence with the whole home birth thing. So when we left, Ken was like, if I'm honest, I feel so much more comfortable about it now, because they were saying how they almost prefer home births because they've had such great experiences with them and that, and they just gave us a lot of information. It was great. Also, another symptom that I've had a lot of uncomfortability in my pelvis area. Don't know if it's called pelvis girdle. I don't really know if it is that. So with I have to keep comparing because with my previous pregnancy with Elvis, when I was in my second trimester, I remember if I'd sneeze or do certain things, it almost feel like, this is going to sound wild, but my tailbone would like fall out. It would feel like very uncomfortable, not painful, not like shooting pains or anything like that, but just uncomfortable, like everything was out of place, and I'd be really uncomfortable sitting down. It would be like that for a couple days or a week, and then it'd go back to normal, and that it would do that throughout. But in general, it wasn't something that massively played me up. Now, I'm 9 weeks and I'm already getting this pelvisy tailbone, a lot of uncomfortability in the hips, sleeping at night. I've been so uncomfortable. I've actually been having quite restless sleep. Like I've been working out less because I feel like it just doesn't feel right down there. It feels like it's a bit out of line. So I spoke to the midwife about this, and she was like, do you know what, like I know Google and all of that will say, oh, that will happen when the baby's heavy and stuff, but she's like, it's all to do with your hormones and your pelvis loosening up. And quite often we notice with women in, you know, their subsequent pregnancies, so once you've already had a baby, your body does just do things way faster. And you know, I'm nearer 12 weeks now, so I suppose like it can happen this early. So if you're kind of experience those aches and pains, now it kind of comes and goes, and if it's something that really does play me up, I might try and see like a pregnancy physio, because it's annoying. As I said, it's not super painful, but it wakes me from my sleep. It's very uncomfortable. Sometimes I can feel it when I'm walking. Sometimes working out feels fine, sometimes it feels uncomfortable. So I'm just listening to my body, but that's been an annoying thing. But again, I feel like the midwife's kind of reassured me with it that, you know, you can just get that a little bit earlier. It's not about the weight of the baby, because at the moment the baby's only about the size of a walnut, which is wild to me. I need to show you my belly. Is there anything else from this week that I need to mention? Oh, I got the pregnancy pillow down. That's helped a little bit with sleeping, but yeah, I needed that. So I'm taking up the entire bed, and I have no I have no issue with doing that, because I'm just like, hun, growing a baby out here. Yeah, let me show you my belly, because I didn't show you before. So I'm almost 10 weeks now. Okay, so I feel like I just look a bit chubs. This is actually I'm in a maternity set. Don't come for me. It's comfy. It's freaking comfortable. So I feel like it just looks a bit chubby. I don't know. I mean, there's look, my belly is sticking out. I cannot hold it in. And there's definitely like a little bump, but you definitely could just look like you gained a bit of weight. Can we see? Yeah. So that's my almost 10 week belly. As I mentioned, I feel like I'm quite fast out the starting block. Like I feel like my belly kind of looked like that at 5 weeks. I'll probably look back at that video and be like, no, your belly was way smaller. But I just feel like it's an awkward phase, because you are showing, like for me, I'm like, okay, that is a huge belly for me, but it kind of does just look like it could just be like a bit of chub, like you've eaten a huge meal. It doesn't really look like a specific bump. So it's kind of that awkward phase when you're trying to cover it up, because you're like, I just look chunky, which is fine. Mamas, if you're out there and you just look a bit chunky, I know like by the second trimester, that's when I get like a proper bump, and I love showing it off. But you know, not everyone's bump looks like what you see like on Instagram. I don't know, you know, just because everyone like does these pregnancy shoots and they've got a really cute bump, and I had such a cute bump with Elvis, but these early stages, it's not, it just does look a bit chubby. So I just think it's important to show my belly and show me growing, because I know that sometimes you're like desperate to have that bump and for it to show, or maybe sometimes you're not. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't really feel comfortable with my body growing. You know, however you're feeling about your body, just remember you are growing a baby. I'm so sorry, the camera's so wonky right now. But yeah, that's it for week 9 pregnancy vlog. Next week, for week 10, I actually have a consultant appointment, so I'll update you on that. That's just all to do with my thyroid, so I always get a consultant like nearer 12 weeks. And yeah, look, you can tell I'm not really feeling myself this week, but I actually feel much better than week 7 or week 8. It's just the moment I've chosen to film this video is just not my greatest moment of this day, but that's absolutely fine. If I didn't do it now, I wouldn't have filmed it, and I just wanted to update you guys because we're on a journey now, and now I need a snack. So see you in a week, basically.